What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Boompa World. Today I'm going to talk about this game called Freakstyle, which came out for the GameCube and PS2, published by
EA Sports
in 2002. I feel like, I don't know, EA Sports Big doesn't really get talked much about or like enough. Probably because of EA's reputation now, but in like 2000, big bangers like SSX, NFL Street, NBA Street, Def Jam Vendetta, like, I don't know, they were a really cool company, man. A lot of the games, like, they have that early 2000s edgy charm to it.
Are you planning on pulling the same old tricks today?
My tricks are still better than yours.
Which like takes me back to like when I was in like grade school, like watching MTV with those weird dating shows with like weird ass rock star characters and personalities. It's like what you get here.
It's me, the Mets, and I'm feeling freaky. I'm Deegan. Are you down with the Metal Militia?
I am Leanne.
Like with all the characters in like their games, they're just like weird, wacky. But yeah, a game made by EA Sports Big, one that I'd never seen before, but caught my eye at the game store I went to the other day. It's called Freakstyle. I bought it instantly without ever seeing any gameplay or really even like inspecting the back of the box. But judging from the front, I saw the EA Sports Big logo. And it kind of just looked like SSX with dirt bikes instead of like skis and snowboards. Like more pushed towards like the Mountain Dew.
He on X Games mode.
I'm crippled and I want to listen to Nirvana.
Demographic. But also this game was made by Page 44 Studios, which is now a defunct EA studio. But they went on to make Madden 10 and Hannah Montana rock out the show. So this could honestly be good or bad. I started up Freakstyle to some like hardcore like metal music and a great intro. Got my blood pumping to a menu with like flames and barbed wire or whatever that design is, like the metal sharpness. Set the tone, so I went straight into the circuit mode, which like I rightfully assumed to be the single player. And we picked the white dude and the wife beater that was on the cover doing a trick. Mike Mexenberger or some shit. I think he's actually a real person. I think he was actually good on the dirt bike in real life. I assume. Anyway, the next screen showed the layout and the courses I would go on to get respect in the circuit or some shit. It said it in like the manual and like I think one screen in the game. But I got through the first level and win a race on the same course 3 times in a row. I don't know, I wasn't really going off or anything. My trick points were like ass, way lower than the CPUs. But then like I actually looked at like the loading screen and the game manual to understand the controls. It wasn't really through halfway through like the second course. I realized I wasn't pressing Z, which was the boost mode, and was also the tweak mode, which was like so important. It helped you out with tricks, made them like a little more freaky, gave you more points, just like made the move you were doing like more wild. Like you would do like a Superman, then you would like go and only do one-handed Superman. I don't know. But once I realized this, I did this big ass like badass trick, or like at least it felt like it at the time, but by now it's like not really that crazy. But like I landed it right at the last second, and then I was like, all right, I was hyped to play the game. You got 2 meters like on the bottom left, one being the boost that fills up a lot like every time you do tricks, and then the red one next to it that goes up more slowly, that's triggered so you can go into a Freakstyle, which is like a fast ass boost that happens once you do a trick where you press like all the buttons like Y, X, L, and R, because I'm on GameCube. It sounds harder than it is in practice. Just put your meaty ass fingers. But once done, I feel like I injected myself with Red Bull or whatever. After winning the first 3 times, like I unlocked the next stage, and then a new bike, another rider to play as, and like upgrade points. So I guess it's kind of like a dirt bike RPG in a way. But like it really just felt like a motocross SSX, like I said earlier. And I wish I had this game when I was younger and like had a dirt bike and stuff. My second bike had like an eye on it, and I just thought that I wanted to mention it. Reminded me of Neversoft's logo, and just reminded me of just more 2000s, early 2000s vibe. Kind of stretch, but yeah. The next course was more of the same. I enjoyed the design more. It was less SSX and more like Excite Bike on like its drug of choice. It was in Wheeling, West Virginia, and had this like coal mining theme. And I mean, if it was a little more depressing, I think it would have been spot on. I don't know why I'm being a dick. But I was honestly struggling, but I could just be bad at the game. It was really fast paced, and sometimes when you're boosting like constantly and you're playing for a while, I don't know, the motion blur kind of fucked with my eyes, made them water, but that just could be my weak self. I do wear glasses, but I was slowly unlocking combos, basically just mashing buttons, like doing new shit like every game. Finished the second course after a few tough losses, unlocked Greg in a few tracks, and upgraded my guy some more. Fun, but like I'm pretty sure the rubber banding was like pretty dickish, but it doesn't really bother me too much because it worked worked both ways. The next stage was in Snoqualmie, Washington, which I've never heard of, but it kind of looked like DK Mountain mixed with Temple Run, or like that's what my brain like thought of like when I was looking at it. I don't know. So far, like each race lasts about 6 or 7 minutes. And some of the courses feel a little repetitive, but in this one specifically, I like the dodging rocks, and there's like trees on fire and like that are falling in front of you, and it was kind of sweet. Like throughout the whole game, I really like the risk versus reward on taking shortcuts. Don't really not only take knowledge like the map, but they also takes a lot of skill. Like, you gotta weave through them without breaking your neck on some trees or some shit. Back to like the trees falling and shit. I hope that isn't like a weird callback to forest fires in the area or something. Being sensitive. Probably not. Whatever. I gotta freak out on these bitches. I don't know. I realized by now, I realized on this map that I preferred the camera set to far, or like farther out, because on a lot of turns on the earlier races, I pretty much was up my character's ass. Third of my screen was just like the back wheel of the bike. That gave me better clarity and what felt like better controls overall. I don't know how. I liked this course a lot. Maybe some designer went hiking there somehow and he was just like, yeah, we should make it on this. A lot of obscure places around America. Freakout worked as the back, like your exhaust was on fire burning. It would have a countdown like on the bottom left. If you could string tricks together in like that allotted time, it would continue, and it was so fucking satisfying. When you'd land a trick when the time's at 0, to give you a bit more time, even if people are still riding your ass due to the rubber banding, it was still fun. The goofy ass announcer and his stupid ad libs were kind of annoying, but I also think it played into that edgy charm I was kind of talking about earlier. Like, the second I would slip into 6, he'd be like, player 1 is in 6. He's terrible. Spend his money on this game and he lasts against a computer.
Who got game? I got game.
Next course is at like Jamestown, which is like America's first settlement. I don't know. I remember that from social studies. Like a shit ton of gnomes like all around the map. Maybe like a lot of basic yards in Jamestown, Rhode Island. I don't really get the reference, but this course was fun too. Even had a spot where you knocked down a bunch of gnomes. Maybe that's like something like the hardcore grunge people did back then. Like, they fucked up people's yards that had no... I don't know. The next map took me to... it said Laughlin, Nevada, but it had obvious like Las Vegas inspiration. I felt like this track felt the most polished, the most colors, most different locales and spots that like were intriguing. Me like color and shiny lights, obviously, but I felt like this one had like the most action, and I felt like completely in control and was also enjoying the view. I think I was really getting the hang of it at this point, and it was just like the perfect time to have this fun track. I kind of wish I could see the attributes of like upgrading my guy more visibly affect the gameplay, but I could just be asking a lot, I guess. Came out in 2002. Felt like this course had like the least amount of those. There's like these rut, muddy spots that make your bike like go really slow in a lot of the earlier stages, and once I started playing them a lot, like it wasn't really in the way, but I don't know, I guess it made some sort of skill gap, but would get in these muddy spots and it sometimes would kind of look like shading. It was not. But I don't know, back to the rubber banding, it was so fucking annoying, but it also seemed to help me. Like, I'd fall like once and I'd be in last, but then like by the end of the lap I'd be back up like fighting for first. This Casino Nights ass course was fire. It honestly looked like a course you'd see on like an arcade cabinet screen trying to tempt you to buy it. And I probably might, like if I was Max and Irma's and like my parents gave me money. I found myself sometimes getting like a tiny bit frustrated. I really felt like they would just adapt to my skill. Like, I won first one time with 7 minutes and 20 seconds, and then the next race I got like 7 minutes and 3 seconds, and I got 5th. But I don't know, the challenge made it feel like all the more worth it to continue playing. I don't know, that's probably what dirt bike races are like. You fuck up like once or twice and you're fucked. It felt good to get a little grind in. Then I unlocked the Rhino Rage bike. And is that fucking Echo Unlimited? Real ones remember the ad. It'll be on Nickelodeon sometimes. Maybe. The next course, I unlocked the Rocket Garden, and they said it's the last race, which initially scared me because I was always so low on trick points, compared to the CPU at least. The Rocket Garden was the most out there design. Probably had the highest and the lowest points of the map design all in one. They had sand that was like made you so damn slow, like, and you had no acceleration. But the Ascension style rocket launches, like the diverging paths, like the spots for tricks and like combos, it had like a lot of potential and it was really fun. There was some weird physics, like I said, and it kind of hindered the course a lot, but then after I beat it, all in all, I feel like the racing portion of the game was fun, a little arcadey, and felt like a quarter munching game, like more than a sit down and play at home game. But I love the Spike TV, like in your face.
Check me out, I rule.
Eat my shorts. I listened to Korn vibes this game was giving, honestly. But the next place was a front yard that reminded me of like those ATV Off-Road Fury games that my sister had. Bunch of tricks and hit like a goal within 3-minute time limit. And it was really fucking fun. Like, being in a sandbox and doing those tricks with that gameplay, it was like a blast. And it was supposed to train me to prepare me for this next segment where I have to win the race and get first and achieve a points goal. It took me back to the first course, and honestly, running through the courses again, after I got really like the hang of doing tricks and stringing combos, was actually fun, and I got to have like a new appreciation for the courses, like the first course. Fuck it. It was a challenge worth setting off for, I feel like. Getting that high of combos had me grinding, and I spent my entire day off like of work doing it pretty much. It was fun as fuck. Some courses required like 300,000, others 500,000. I would have to get my bearings and go on the course a few times before I'd hit the goal usually, but there's nothing like impossible. Base course took me forever, but I fucking did it. Thank God you get a 20,000 point boost for winning first, because that pushed me over the edge of my points goal like pretty much every stage. I was like by the skin of my teeth. Mike Metz fully upgraded. I went back and unlocked a few more tricks and got his alternate outfits, and yeah, I really think it's cool to unlock all this shit, and it would make me want to play this game again with someone else someday. Not right now, or probably not this year, but maybe someday. Anyway, after you beat the circuit, they give you like a nice pat on the back, aka a wall of text, and send you to your final area for some fun, because you're like, you got all the respect, and that you unlock the burbs, which is Freaksville. I always feel like shit was always talking about the burbs in 2000, but I'm the ultra freak now. I could feel like I could beat anybody watching this shit. The course is like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but X Games mode. I don't know. Wow, this game was really fun, and I feel like none of the maps miss. Like SSX got so many sequels and so much love, but this, not a fucking peep. It's criminal. I don't know. I bet so many people grew up with this game. I don't know, maybe at least some. This is fire though. I posted on my Snapchat and like one dude swiped up saying the game was fire. And then like another dude asked if I really paid $24 or if the sign was an old price tag. But I actually did pay that much, but I don't know. I think the game was actually worth it. Total blast, and I actually mean that. It reminded me of wanting to be like a cool skateboarder, like a badass rock star, like every white kid in the Midwest wanted to be in 2003. I know I was only like 3 or 4 when this came out, but it makes me nostalgic towards the media I saw as like a very young child. The hardcore shit, like, that would always be on growing up. I don't know. I give this game an 8.7 out of 10, and honestly, I know I'm about to play a bunch of EA Sports big published games on this channel. Fuck yeah. If you enjoyed this review, hit the like button and subscribe, and yeah, have a good day.